Yeah, I don't know how far I'd get. How far do you think? Sorry?
You look like a bobby in them pants.
We have to collect the data from the death certificates.
So with that, I mean, a good death needs three things. It needs equipment, it needs medication, and it needs the staff to administer it. So in terms of equipment, a few quick questions. Do you have enough syringe drivers in the NHS to deliver medications to keep people comfortable when they're passing away?
Yes, we do.
So when you make an arrest now with COVID around, you have to do it at 2 metre distances. You need longer arms if you do. 2 metre distance arms now. Have you got some arm extensions? So I believe Plan C, they're going to lock down again, which could be quite controversial for the police and the protesters. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil.
When we go down to London on the 5th of January, each one of you need to be armed with this memory stick, downloading the evidence that I've got on my website. Because we want to get arrested, we want to be in court, we want to get the criminals in Westminster in court. That's who we get in court. I want to be arrested. Twice they have turned me down. Twice they stopped me at the door. Get the memory stick, get arrested, get in court, get the criminals to court.
I would say get out there, join us, find out all the information you can. There's lots of love here. You know, we're all just sticking up for humanity. We don't want this totalitarian state, you know.
I believe you're conspiring to commit freedom. May 2nd, 2023, BioNTech SE. That's what you're talking about, I believe.
Well, it could be.
Yeah, I do believe it is.
Well, let's hope Nuremberg kicks off pretty soon, because we've been waiting a while now, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when you watch the mainstream media, I only watch it to see what they're telling people. So what I get from it is that they're telling people quite a few controversial things that need a Nuremberg trial.
Well, who's going to be the judiciary? That's what we want to know.
Would you like to be one of the judges?
Is there anybody in the judiciary left that's still honourable? Who knows?
Maybe it should be left to the people.
Well, maybe it should, but it'd get messy then, wouldn't it? They'd be hanging from the trees.
Undrawn and quartered.
Right down Chancery Lane.
You can't come to Blackburn without talking to a Blackburn police officer.
Absolutely.
So, what's the friendliness like for police officers in Blackburn?
My friendliness?
No, friendliness in general. What's it like in the force in Blackburn?
Yeah, we're very friendly people.
Yeah, because I'm from Blackburn originally.
Yeah.
And if I said to you, if I step back 2 metres, could you just pop your mask down and see who you are?
No, I'm going to leave my mask on, thank you.
Okay. So what would you advise to people when we're coming into Plan C? Have you heard of Plan C?
Vaguely. I don't have any official direction on it, but it's all politics to me.
So it could well come into force, which may incur some lockdowns. Are you aware of those?
I know what lockdowns are, yeah, we did quite a lot of those.
How did you find it policing the lockdowns last year?
It made everything quite quiet from a policing perspective.
So crime, was that down?
Crime was down, yeah, last year.
So it looks like COVID's the cure for crime?
I wouldn't say that, no.
All right, well thank you very much.
So, right, okay, yeah, no problem.
Do you want to add to that?
No, I don't know. I was wondering what he was doing, filming you, filming me, but yeah, that's fine.
All right. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, we've met this policeman and he's a good lad.
He comes across really sound and professional, and I like that in police.
Yeah, he's been really fair with us. No kettling, no bashing us up.
Wait till Plan C.
He's got a good sense of humour and he seems like a good sort. So.
This is the first protest in Blackburn, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, they do meet in the parks and what have you.
You sound like you've got a Lancashire accent.
Yeah, I'm a Darwin boy.
Darwin, yeah. I just come through Darwin.
Well, look at you.
I went past Blackburn Rovers football ground as well.
Yeah.
Do you support Blackburn?
I don't actually, I'm not too keen on football.
Don't cut that bit out then.
Yeah, cut that bit out.
What about if I leave it in?
Oh, that's fine, absolutely fine.
Anyway, anything you'd like to say to people who've never been to a protest before on COVID?
We were a bit wary about coming, you know, you don't know what to expect, but if you just pander around, people are quite decent and some nice people here who were thinking things through, and we just want a choice, basically.
Freedom of choice.
Freedom of choice.
Which what some people are saying may well end up where we might not have that in the future.
Exactly, yeah, we're seeing things which alarm us, to be honest, so yeah.
Thanks very much.
My pleasure.
Obviously have always played a very important part in the provision of healthcare, and we've got to make sure we support them through these times.
Thank you. Luke Evans.
For all the hard work you and your team are doing. I noticed in your battle plan, one of the things that I think potentially was missing was when we talk about battle and in medicine, death is an inevitability and something you have to deal with. I just wondered, you've put in a Herculean effort to get the ITU spaces and the ventilators. However, a lot of people who will suffer from coronavirus and indeed other conditions will never make it onto the intensive care unit. So I wondered what sort of provisions you have for the number of people who may be dying at home. And I've got a few questions about that. Do you know the number of people who are dying at home currently, or have an estimate?
Well, we do know the number of people who die outside of hospital, and they very largely die at home. It comes back to the very first exchange with the chair on the number of deaths reported. They're reported through ONS because we have to collect the data from the death certificates.
So with that, I mean, a good death needs three things. It needs equipment, it needs medication, and it needs the staff to administer it. So in terms of equipment, a few quick questions. Do you have enough syringe drivers in the NHS to deliver medications to keep people comfortable when they're passing away?
Yes, we do. There was a challenge raised about this about 8 days ago, and we resolved. Actually, it wasn't as big a challenge as was made public, and we've resolved that. So yes, right now we do.
And the second one is with that's the syringe drivers deliver medication, particularly things like midazolam and morphine. Do you have any precautions put in place to make sure we have enough of those medications to be delivered?
Yes. We've got a big project to make sure that those sorts of medications, as well as the ITU medications that I spoke about earlier, that the supply chains, global supply chains for those medicines are clear. They are, in fact, those medicines are made in a relatively small number of factories around the world. So it is a delicate supply chain, and we are in contact with the whole supply chain.
And in line with that, morphine is currently prescribed per patient. The reason to do that is stop it being abused. So I have to prescribe it for Mr. Hancock. However, in this situation, if you're going into a healthcare home, you may not want to waste precious things like morphine. Have you considered relaxing the laws around morphine prescribing for doctors and healthcare professionals so that there isn't waste?
That's something that we keep under review. I've looked at that particular point to reduce wastage of key medicines, and it's something that the supply team, in the department and the clinical team talk about all the time. I don't know if that's JVT's part of the clinical team, and he may want to say more.
Thank you.
No, I've nothing really to add on that.
Okay. Thank you.
The proceeding has ended.
So people who don't know what rebels on roundabouts are, just a brief explanation.
We're a group of guys that meet in a park. We come and chat for an hour just amongst ourselves, and then for a couple of hours they'll go out and hit the roundabouts, trying to raise awareness to passing travellers, and just doing their little bit, doing what they can.
And how effective do you think this is?
Well, how many people drive past? That's how many people can see it. There's no mainstream media coverage. There's guys like you who are brilliant with independent coverage. Honestly, you guys have been brilliant. I could name a few of you. Even though you can't get to protests,
not all the time.
You can sit at home and you can watch, and you can sort of support that way, can't you?
Well, this is it. You can share these videos amongst people who have never been to a protest before, and you can learn from them, can't you? And the police could learn from them, because how to police better than last ones.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because there were some controversial moments in the last policing on the lockdowns, weren't there?
For sure, yeah, for sure. We need to work well with the police as well. I mean, they've been brilliant here today. I've talked to a couple of them. They've been marvellous.
Do you mind if I just ask you about your clothing today? Are you a police officer?
No.
Do you ever get asked that question?
Very much.
And what do you reply with?
No.
Yeah.
Polite.
We got arrested in Manchester on 3rd of October for wearing all black. Just dressed like this, basically.
What?
Yeah. Released with no further charges. What's that all about?
Weird.
Because we video record the police interacting with the public, there are some good police officers out there. I just want to point that out. But
yes,
finding them is hard these days. Any views of the police, in your opinion, your experiences?
Working for government, aren't they?
They've got a job to do. Obviously, if they don't do it, they'll lose the job and someone else will do it for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to say anything to people who've never been to a protest before?
Get yourself down to a protest. We need more voices.
And should they really be afraid of the police at protests?
No, I don't think so at all.
But what about when the police get a bit heavy-handed sometimes?
Well, then you just have to rally in numbers and remain calm, don't get violent.
Try and stay back from the front lines.
Yeah.
Tactical protesting.
Certainly, yeah. No violence.
Do you want to say anything off camera like this?
It's just really trying to bring awareness of the situation regarding the COVID. Quite a few vaccine-related injuries, really. Just trying to make people aware of it and let them make their own decisions, really. Handing out a few leaflets, and everyone's been really positive about it.
This is the first protest, isn't it? In Blackburn?
I believe so, yes. We've come a bit of a distance to get here, but this is the first one, I believe, in Blackburn. There may be more.
What about Plan C? That's coming into action, apparently. They're talking about it at the moment, and there's chances there may be lockdowns.
Right, yes, I suppose that the government are doing what they think is right, and obviously people will go along with it. So yes, Plan C could be around the corner, who knows.
Cheers for that. I'm going to get your sign now, keep it there. Farmageddon. Media complicit. I would agree 100%. Mainstream media, BBC, British Bullshit Corporation. What would you say to that?
Correct, yes.
I'd agree.
I'm here because I'm so concerned about what's going on with the restrictions that keep coming and going, and then these new variants, which to be honest, don't seem to be too much to panic about, but the government are using it as the latest prop for their booster campaign and trying to get everyone to get another dose of the so-called vaccine. And I'm really against the idea that people should have compulsory medical treatment that they don't want in order to buy a coffee or a meal or get on a bus. And that's why I'm here, because I think our freedoms are being eroded slowly, but not that slowly, but definitely surely.
Obviously you've got some kind of rocket looking device on your head. Just explain that to me.
Because that's just what it's about. It's a people farm. We're all going to get cold unless we say no.
Wow, that's quite a wild accusation, but for some people only, because many people are waking up to that fact, aren't they?
Yeah, second time, but 1 dose, 2 dose booster, people are realising a lot of people getting ill with this, and then the question is why and who's behind it.
And is it true now that the people are actually saying that in government that some of these vaccines now are not going to be effective against some of these, especially Omicron?
Well, yeah.
Delta.
These alleged viruses have never been isolated anyway, so that the question of whether a vaccine, it's not even a vaccine, has any effect is like that's the first question. It's just questions all the time, isn't it?
You see, what it is with YouTube, if I put this on YouTube, I'll probably get a strike and I won't be able to upload. So, very controversially, YouTube is censoring things like this. Freedom of speech no longer exists, in my opinion.
Well, that's right, yeah. It's all control.
Can I just get a picture of your sign? Is that all right?
Yeah.
And can you tell me why you're here today? Obviously, I understand it's the first protest today in Blackburn.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. I mean, I don't know Blackburn, we're not from here, so it's not the first protest for us. I'm worried about the future, I'm worried about children, jabbing children, that's a big worry for me.
A lot of people were too frightened to protest, especially when the lockdowns came. Did you ever protest in a lockdown?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get you incriminating yourself, like.
Yeah,
freedom of speech,
it
seems to have gone now, freedom of expression.
Yeah, we protest. Yeah, whatever the consequences, we would be out there protesting.
The government are talking about Plan C now, which may include lockdowns. I mean, I think there'll be a lot of people still coming out to protest.
I do.
Yeah. What would you say to people who've never been to a protest before?
I'd say come along, it's all peaceful as you can see, people are enjoying themselves, and it's not just a protest, it's It's people just expressing their opinions and talking to each other and finding out what's going on.
And mainstream media tend to tell their side of the story, should we say?
Always. Yeah.
So to get the real truth of what's going on, you've got to listen to people on the ground.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it, exactly.
Anything you want to add?
Just come along, please. We need you.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Everybody.
Cheers.
They're off in the Christmas COVID handicap hurdle, and first to show is Omicron Lad. Omicron Lad being closely followed by the booster. Look at the booster, Omicron Lad, in a bit of an early race here with each other.
Horse rider, horse, I don't know what they call it. I don't do it, you see.
No,
Gambler.
I'm not, no.
It's an interesting thing going on there. Just tell me about it, will you?
It's just, well, somebody sent it to my dad, he sent it to me. Don't know where it's come from, but they're basically just taking the mick, aren't they, about over, you know, like the run up to all this rubbish that's going on. Oh, it's gone off now.
I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, there's going to be new lockdowns coming, I believe.
Yeah.
They're talking about Plan Cs now. What's your view on that if they do lock down again?
I think it's ridiculous, to be honest, but I mean, I just think people that are awake now, they're awake. I don't know if we're going to get anyone else who's going to be awake to it all, but you know, you've got to get out there and try. I don't think it's right that they should be doing another lockdown. I don't think it's ridiculous, in my opinion. But
I think even the news are actually saying now that some of these variants are no longer being affected by the injections. The injections aren't as effective as this could be on the new ones.
Yeah, but then people are still getting it. It's like, well, if it worked, are you also walking around with your masks on and still getting your boosters and things? It's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's, you know, it's quite obvious that it's...
Yeah. Today's the first protest in Blackburn. Obviously, it's a nice peaceful crowd.
Yeah.
And I've been to many protests myself, and I've always found them peaceful until the police get involved.
Oh yeah, always, yeah, it's always peaceful, always. It's like there's been a lot in London as well. They just start going over and belting you with, you know, the truncheons and all sorts if they don't like something that they hear. And it's terrible, it's terrible. We're here for our freedom at the end of the day. We're not here to cause wars. We're the complete opposite, so, you know, it's not... Yeah.
I'd like to think that next time there's another lockdown, that if there's any protests on the streets again and the police are there, they need to be more careful and keep the distance. Allegedly, there's a virus going around, so they should keep the distance, shouldn't they, of 2 metres?
Yeah.
So when they arrest people in the future, 2 metre distance arrest.
2 metre distance, yeah, that's the one.
What are you doing in my hometown? You're not allowed here.
This dog looks familiar. Does anybody recognise this dog?
It's been in hibernation for a few months.
Oh, you're right to tell me why you're here today without a camera?
Just come and obviously support this and film this.
Oh, look at that sign up there. What does that say?
Oh, no. Don't
that's
agree with that, do we?
Why are they playing that sign down here with all these people around?
Oh, yeah, that's a bit of a coincidence. Also, this is happening on the same day as football's going on as well.
So
Sheffield v Blackburn's going on.
There could have been a bigger turnout than today, couldn't there?
Probably, yeah. It's not a bad turnout, actually.
It is, for the first one. It's the first one in Blackburn.
Yeah, basically.
So, will you be filming any protests in the future? What about when they lock down again and the police say, go on?
Who knows? Take it as it comes these days.
Well, it's nice to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. And Ozzy as well, because obviously, you know, Ozzy's a star.
Yeah.
You're a star. Ozzy. And we'll catch you later.
Ozzy. Bye!
I didn't have any contact details. Then I got talking on Telegram.
That's an interesting sign. Why would you need to be arrested?
Well, obviously I wouldn't need to be arrested, but that guy down in London needs to be arrested, doesn't he?
Which one's that? I might have missed it.
Oh, BJ, of course.
Right, what's happened? Oh, Boris Johnson, of course. BJ, I'm thinking something else then. I don't know where my mind was. Yeah, obviously it's the first big protest in Manchester. We're in Blackburn today, aren't we? So it's the first protest in Blackburn. Yeah. What do you think of the turnout?
To be honest, it's my first ever time at a protest, so you know, I was a bit unsure what to expect.
It is a nice turnout for the first time. The football's on, and that might have been a bit bigger turnout if the football weren't on.
I don't know. I'm not really a fan of football.
There's a lot of people who've gone to the football match, you see.
Ah, okay.
But it's quite a few people here, isn't there?
I'm surprised it's not postponed with all the players that have tested positive in the Premier League. So I'm quite surprised all the matches are still on.
So this is your first time at a protest, is it? And how do you feel about these people?
I've just got amongst them, got their opinions on vehemently opposed to what they're trying to bring in by the vaccine passport. I think it's discriminatory and it's bringing about a medical apartheid system, apartheid system that we saw in South Africa in the 80s.
It is, yeah, indeed. I believe they're going to do a march soon. Are you going to join them?
I think I've been chosen to spearhead that march.
You're the chosen one.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to say to people who've never been to a protest before?
Not really, but for me, it was something that has manifested itself over the last 2 years. It's something that I felt strongly about, and I thought it's about time for me to step up to the plate and just basically show my face and voice my opinions.
And judging by today, you might have been here about an hour, roughly.
That's right, yeah.
Do you think in the future you may attend some more protests?
For sure, yeah, for sure. Yeah, bigger ones, yeah, maybe, travel Manchester to London, if need be.
What do you say to people who've never been to a protest before, who's just waking up, shall we say?
Oh, come along, you'd be most welcome. You're most welcome to come along here. You're not on your own if you are waking up. Just get yourselves down, feel the love.
And obviously it's a peaceful day today. The police are standing back. I do believe they're in talks about Plan C in government. There may well be some more lockdowns. How do you think the police will act then when the lockdowns come?
Well, hopefully they're coming for the police's children as well. They're coming for their sons and their daughters, their grandkids. So hopefully we need to get these guys on side. It's in a war against the police. It's just a war against people that you can't even see and are untouchable.
A lot of police officers do believe they're suppressed.
Well,
and that's from my information.
They've got to unsuppress themselves. That's the only thing, isn't it? How do you sleep at night? That sort of thing. We're all our own judge, aren't we? At the end of the day.
It's not a child's job to protect adults. It's interesting that because children now over 12 get to choose if they want the jab or not. Is that correct?
Gillick competence.
What do they call it?
Gillick competence, and we're having none of it.
It's a shame that, isn't it? Because they're not old enough to vote, but they're old enough to make a decision whether they want the vaccine.
Yes, ridiculous.
Now I know it's cold today. I drove from London through the night to get here with your friends in the mall. Your voices are being heard. Right. On the 5th of January, there's one thing I want you to know today.
Anything at all?
Every single part of this country, every town and city needs to be a Parliament Square on the 5th of January. Are you going to be there? That's not good enough. I want to hear you. I want Robert to hear you. Are you going to be there? Yeah! The 5th of January, we take it to Parliament, we take back our country. They're going to try and lock us down, they're going to try and starve us. They're going to try and chip away at us and tell us, oh, you feel those like us not being vaccinated. Yesterday, I was at a prison, they're building for those people like me. And unless you listen to what I'm saying, unless you listen to what people are trying to tell you now, unless you stop shouting over me, alright? I've only got one voice, if you're shouting, you can't hear me. Right, I know, but listen, I know, right. I need to just, right, can you just put out to me, guys? Alright, money short, you're a big fellas here. Right, listen, I am taking up Chris Whitty. Chris Whitty is absolutely the low-hanging fruit. The yellow leaflet. You need to post this through every door in the country because this gets dialogue. Thousands and thousands and thousands of these have gone through doors. In those houses, you've got the vaccinated and unvaccinated. The unvaccinated have now got the power to go to get the vaccinated to go to the government website. This isn't about us. This isn't direct to us. This directs everybody to the government yellow card scheme. Even some of the doctors don't know about this. Every time I get arrested, I've got a memory stick in my pocket. When we go to London on the 5th, when we go down to London on the 5th of January, each one of you need to be armed with this memory stick, downloading the evidence that I've got on my website. Because we want to get arrested, we want to be in court, we want to get the criminals in Westminster in court. That's who we get in court. I want to be arrested. Twice they have turned me down. Twice they stopped me at the door. Get the memory stick. Get arrested. Get in court. Get the criminals to court. Arrest. Here, I'll give you the memory stick, mate. There you go. All right, I'll need you back in a second because I've got all the stuff on there as well. All right, listen. Right, so all we're going to do is, give me the coppers because they're not doing anything.
Gazer, ask them to get behind the yellow flags.
Right, just I'm going to give you 2 more minutes and then we're going to get marching. I know you're cold. Thank everybody for coming out. But the memory stick is important because what they do on the memory stick, I have taken on the Met Police. The Met Police, I was shouting in their station, where are you, cowards? They wouldn't come down. They wouldn't come down because I've already done my own work. When I get arrested, there's a reason behind it. I have the memory stick. I want to get the evidence in court. Chris Whitty, I want to get him in court. Right? The IOPC are investigating the Met Police for intimidating a witness and not arresting the criminals. I mean, 5th of January, you need to be there in force. Come down in the communities. We do not march around London anymore. We stay in Parliament. We get back our country. We put a marker down in 2022. No more.
Freedom! Follow the yellow flags!
Let's get behind the yellow flag, people. Come on, Blackburn. Come on, the North.
Get behind the yellow flags!
Trust me. Ethylene oxide, go and read up online.
Quite an impressive turnout for the first time, isn't it? First Blackburn protest.
Oh, sorry, who are you talking to?
Yeah, quite an impressive turnout for the first Blackburn protest.
There's quite a few people here. I'm not sure how many of them are from Blackburn, but yeah.
Can I just ask you, is there a big police operation on today?
No, not in relation to this, no. Just a few of us making sure things go off peacefully.
He's a star! Hiya, BANAMAN.
Right.
Good to see you.
So this is an idea how many people turned out today. First big protest for Blackburn. Quite impressive, I think. And yeah, let's see how things go. Nice turnout today, isn't it?
Bad, yeah.
First time?
Yeah.
Interesting turnout today. What would you advise people who've never been to a protest before?
Come and join us. Come and join us. Find out what it's all about then. Yeah, it's about freedom. Go on, Pete, move on, Pete. Go on.
Save our children!
Save our children! Save our children! Save our children! Save our children!
We'll have Mickey out. Save our children! Save our children! Save our
not comply! Resist! Defy! Do 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 not comply!
Right, so this is the vaccine centre, the COVID site, some kind of vaccine centre. Yeah, receive, thanks.
Stick your poison vaccine up your arse. You can stick your poison vaccine. Stick your poison vaccine. Stick your poison vaccine. Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! You don't even know what you're infecting people. We are the 99%. Stick your fucking vaccine.
Complicit, you pal, complicit!
Hey, find the more vaccinations.
So if you want a vaccine there, you've got to search your bags, make sure you haven't got anything in the bags. It's not allowed.
We are the 99%. Singing we are the 99%. Singing we are the 90%. Singing we are the 90%. We are the 99%. Tyranny! You can stick your poison vaccine up your arse. You can stick your poison vaccine. Stick your poison vaccine. Stick your poison vaccine up your arse. Singing we are the 99%. Singing we are the 99%. Singing we are the 90%. Singing we are the 90%. We are the 99%.
So it looks like there's a family just about to go in for a vaccination. This is the bag check area, so obviously they're searching bags now before you go in. I think they're just sandbags. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil.
That was a catchphrase on celebrity catchphrase on Saturday. That
was it.
It was, yeah.
It's an interesting turnout today for the first time for Blackburn, isn't it?
There's a decent number, isn't there?
I do believe there's some lockdowns coming.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, remember last time when the lockdowns happened? Some people believe that the police should have learned from those.
All right.
I don't know what your opinions are. Would you like to express them?
No.
You guys took it out. Look, everybody, chicken in the basket, back at mine.
Did someone mention chicken?
Chicken in the basket, back at these. Look at them fancy cars.
Yeah, what's that all about? That's
some
interesting.
serious money, I think.
I'm interested in these black Range Rovers, actually, just while the protest is going on, because quite expensive looking vehicles. Just going to have a quick look while I'm here. So in the distance there you can see the protest going on. In the meantime, You must be getting paid a lot of money to have a car like that. Is that your Range Rover? The black Range Rover. Is that yours? No comment? Anyway, I'll leave you to it, thanks. So, not very talkative, never mind. No doubt that's the way they go. So let's catch up with the protest. Or should I go for a restaurant and cocktail? Nah, we'll go with the protest. We've got you walking into the sunlight together.
Good picture.
And now you're walking off into the sunlight together. Must be love, love, love.
Have you ever thought of going to X Factor?
Yeah, I don't know how far I'd get. How
You
far
look
do you
like a
think?
copper.
Sorry?
You look like a bobby in them pants.
Who have you been listening to? Who's been advising you today? Inspector Ashton, by any chance? You've got to be one step ahead in this game.
Republican and Democratic presidents alike, from Harry Truman to George Bush, said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
So how long have you been coming to these things?
Really,
And how do you find them in your opinion?
very good. I think we need to engage with the general public. I've not given up on waking people up yet.
Maybe it's just a matter of time when Plan C comes in, perhaps.
Plan C. I'm not doing Plan C. I'm not complying with Plan C.
We don't know
You're
what
not
that,
either.
Well, we don't know what that is yet, but I believe more lockdowns are on the agenda.
Well, we've got our own business and I won't be complying with Plan C.
Good luck with that. Cheers.
Thank you.
So currently making our way down towards the railway bridge, which goes to the station to the left, Blackburn railway station. Currently winding the way around the streets of Blackburn. Drivers agreeing as they're going past with the picking of the horns. So the police are stopping traffic while they protest Francis. So the cars are having to be held up at the moment. I believe this is Audley Range. So the police are helping to facilitate this protest. So as you can see, here we have Cat. Film the protest. I'm not talking about the dog, I'm talking about Cat, the YouTuber.
Vaccine
So as you can see, the police are facilitating this protest, and that's good of them. So as you can see, they're walking over the bridge now, making their way to freedom, hopefully.
Get some pictures.
I forgot to press record. I'd just like to say, in the future, when you arrest somebody with COVID, you have to arrest them at 2 metre distances, don't you?
Not doing it again.
I wish I'd have pressed record, it was a good one.
What about 23 million boosted cats? But you're 27 cats. You don't say you're 28. You don't vaccinate. Why were you vaccinated then?
You'll find it on BANAMAN YouTube.
You mean
no.
I
have no idea.
So when you make an arrest now with COVID around, you have to do it at 2 metre distances. You need longer arms if you do, 2 metre distance arms now. Have you got some arm extensions? So I believe Plan C, they're going to lock down again, which could be quite controversial for the police and the protesters. So as you can see up front there, there's quite a big turnout for the first time, quite an impressive turnout for the first time, to be honest. With Plan C now potentially being talked about with government, new lockdowns coming, protesters will be out on the street again, I believe so, like last time. But will the police be any different next time? We'll have to wait and see. So currently walking through the centre of the traffic, who are having to wait for the people, because the people have the power. What do you think of the turnout today?
Fantastic. Yeah. We were just saying we went to one in Manchester and there were about 20 people. Fantastic.
This is Blackburn's first one, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
What would you advise people watching this?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a nurse, so wise up.
I believe it's quite controversial to be a nurse now, because if you don't get your vaccines, there's a chance of losing your job, is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely, I'm out of a job currently. School, mate.
Oh well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
You know that guy there wearing that high vis? Yeah, would you say that was legal or lawful? Sorry?
I can't read what he's got on.
Well, does he look like a police officer to you?
That's not a police officer uniform.
Look up BANAMAN on YouTube. That police officer said you don't look anything like a police officer. I'm your witness, I've got the video evidence, you sound. I know what it's like when they try and twist things, you see.
Oh, no.
Anything to say to the camera? What do you think of this procession? Nothing to say. Bless you.
Keep the children safe.
getting lighter.
Alright, BANAMAN.
Alright, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad, yourself?
Good.
On the road, see?
Nice turnout, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad actually. I thought there'd be a lot less.
I did as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought there'd be a lot less. I thought we'd be looking at people.
It's really uplifting, isn't it?
Yeah.
North West is on the map.
Hopefully
I think Liverpool's on the map.
Yeah.
Bradford.
All these people now will be sharing it on social media. Yeah. Publicity.
Well, I've been to a lot of protests
Yeah,
through the years.
I've seen a few of your videos with it.
And I find them all peaceful. You get the odd police officer who tries to tell you what to do, and then that kind of provokes the crowd a bit.
well,
so
that's what
I
they
do
do.
believe the police should be more professional.
The agitator, I saw the one where you were outside the snooker, where you had security trying to tell you it was private.
Well, as controversial as I can be, you know, at the end of the day, it's there as a learning curve for everybody, and including myself.
Yeah, you're never too old to learn something new, are you?
No, never.
Well, these people think they own everything and everybody, don't they?
They do, yeah. There's some good police officers out there, but it's hard to find them sometimes.
Yeah, there's very few and far between. Like us, they don't give their opinion, but they get ostracised. That's why, you know what I mean? That's why they don't give their opinion. Do you think the police want to be out beating people up for not wearing a mask?
No, it's very controversial. If they don't do what they're told, they'll be out of a job, won't they? And then someone else will step up to that and then carry on where they left off.
Yeah, but like I say, I'm a common law advocate, so it's not in the remit as a police constable. That's not their job.
Well, it is interesting how police constable is not a police officer. Because it's a different title.
An officer is corporate. You get an officer of British Maritime Ambulance Law on a ship, a vessel, corporations, the constables, sworn constables. An officer is for profit and gain. The legalese side of it.
Yeah, different meaning to words.
Yeah, like understand, stand under.
So to understand somebody is not the same as comprehending somebody.
No. To understand means you stand under their authority and their statement. Once you've basically consented to it, they can do whatever they want. That's why they can kill you and get away with it. The same with G4S, isn't it? How many people dying in jail?
Yeah, another controversial issue. There's plenty of controversial issues and plenty of unlawful actions.
Yep.
Which are documented, but people don't seem to recognise.
No, but people don't know the difference between lawful and legal and unlawful and illegal. It's two completely different jurisdictions, right? And they're acting under the British Maritime Ambulance Law.
Well, to have two different jurisdictions, legal and illegal, that's the corporate one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then criminal is lawful and unlawful.
That's it. Any loss or injury or fraud to another human being or their property, and to keep the Queen's peace. That's what a constable's remit is. You don't know the law, mate. See you later, buddy.
Yeah, see you later, yeah. So obviously people with their own opinions, alternative views, hand gestures, it happens in all walks of life, no matter what you believe in. It is what it is. This is society as it is, quite divided and becoming more divided, mainly recently because of the vaccines. Families falling out with each other, friends falling out with each other, because they don't seem to comprehend each other's comprehensions.
Non-compliance equals freedom. Passport equals slavery for us all. Nobody is immune and nobody is exempt. Blackburn is waking up.
What's your site?
YouTube,
Yeah.
BANAMAN. BANAMAN, BANAMAN.
We are the 99%. The people and the pencils are all gone. There's no behind the pencils. The laws and the pencils are all gone. Mainstream media Come and join us. Don't know why you're looking. And up ahead, you have reached your destination. Thank you for travelling with Blackburn Airways.
Right, everybody's now gone a full circle of Blackburn. They've come back to the place where they started. Yeah, good. Nice turnout today in Blackburn.
Absolutely. A lot of people went down to London today. Well, I came back to the north. The force from the north. Look at this, eh? These towns and cities, Christmas before Christmas, I've just been round here, right? It's absolutely decimated. Doris, you're going down. The community is coming down to London on the 5th of January. 5th of January, every community in this country, every city and town are coming down to close Westminster down and take on the traitors. Freedom! Freedom! Freedom, Blackburn! There's a good community here, like there are around the country. What you've got to do, communities now are going to start believing in themselves. Don't leave it to London, because the numbers that went down to London, the millions, came from around the country, from the north, east, south and west, from Ireland, from Wales, from Scotland, all over the place, as far as Cornwall. That's what we need to do now. Take back our power, right? The power is in the communities.
And I received one Acro fine through the post. How many did you receive?
I don't know, I've lost count, mate. All right, but the two that I got, the two have already been discontinued. And the 2 times in court, they were Acros, and obviously because they didn't face me in court, them have gone as well. But I'm going to go to Charing Cross Police Station, and everybody target Charing Cross Police Station. I've one station in London that we target, and we all go through there. So if you've lost any loved ones, take it to Charing Cross Police Station. If you've got any evidence whatsoever, if you're an academic, if you're not being threatened by the health service, get down to Charing Cross. So it's in one place. Target them. And that's where I'm going this week. I'm going to find out the truth.
And just one final note on the Acro fines. When they sent me one, I ignored it. I ignored the second letter, and the third one, they said no further action.
Exactly.
I didn't even entertain it. Maybe something to do with the video footage I had of me getting one. Anyway, good luck with that.
Cheers, buddy. Well done, mate. Fantastic. Stay on this channel. Brilliant channel, this one. Good guy. Been doing it for a few years now. Yeah. Well done.
Now then, this kind gentleman has donated £10 to buy us drinks.
Yeah.
And I've got the £10 right now. And thank you very much, sir. You're here today with your mother, aren't you?
That's correct, yes. I think the auditors are doing a fine job, and I think the protest here has been very well received and very well organised. Appreciate everyone's help.
We're in Blackburn, the first protest they've ever had, and it's been a fantastic turnout. I would say at least 500, would you say? Maybe 600? Very positive, loads of smiley faces, which is what I love to see. Loads of positivity, loads of unity, people from all walks of life. It's been a fantastic protest. We had some speeches at the beginning, and then we did a march through the town. We just come back now to the town hall square. And yeah, people are still here, people are still mingling, talking, networking. Now there's people that say the protests, what do they ever do, what have they ever achieved? You know, for me, the protests have achieved a lot. All these people here are my friends. the friends I've got now are the friends I've made in the last 2 years from the protests that I go to, and I go to all the protests as much as I can. London, Newcastle, Liverpool, Birmingham, Nottingham, here Blackburn, Leeds, York. We've done them all, and we're building a network of people. Good people, honest people, caring people, loving people, because that's where it's going to come from. It's going to come from love. We stay united, and time will come when we will be all having a party.
Have you had a nice day today?
Yeah, it's been fun, isn't it?
Yeah, so what was the highlight of your day today?
The fact that I was so close to death.
Really? How did that happen?
Well, I was walking and then suddenly ended up on my shoulder. I don't know how that happened. It's on my Instagram anyway.
Oh well, you don't need a doctor then?
No, I don't need a doctor.
I think it's been absolutely amazing. I can't believe that we started a stand in the park with 3 people stood under an umbrella in the pouring down rain 1 year ago, and today we must have had 500 to 1,000 people. It's just a small town in Blackburn, but you know, every town matters. That's, you know, thank you.
I would just say, really, just consider all the information, consider both sides of the argument, and just trust your gut instinct, really. That's all I could say.
I just want to say there's a lot of police haters out there, but also, I mean, I'm not anti-police, I'm anti-police corruption. I like to say today, I think the police have been good. I think, from what I've experienced, they've actually helped us facilitate a protest by stopping traffic, keeping people safe. What's your message to the police?
I would just like to say thank you so much for helping us with this protest. You know, it's been really peaceful. They've been lovely. I've had a chat to them about my dogs, and it's been great. They've been great. I can't fault the police today here in Blackburn on the 18th of December. And I'd just like to say thank you to BANAMAN for coming all the way from Sheffield and doing this for us. I really appreciate it.
Plan C is being talked about right now. That could involve some more lockdowns.
Yes.
How do you think it's going to go?
Well, look, Plan C, Plan B, Plan D, Plan F, Z. Well, I don't give a shit. I don't care less. I couldn't care less. Yeah, I got my plan, and I'm sticking to my plan. And we stick to our plan. We are free. I don't ask for freedom. I'm already free. Yeah. So we stick to our plan. There's so much stuff going on. There's community projects going on. There's people doing outreach work in towns and cities. There's people who are doing things to oppose the vaccine passport agenda as well. There's so much going on, even though it's not reported on the mainstream media, so people get disheartened. They think, oh well, how are we going to get through this? Trust me, we've got this. We've already got this. It's just about us all coming together. At the moment, we're all still fragmented. We come together, and then we'll see the power, the force that we are. The force that we are, and that's all we're going to need to get through this. So, yeah, stay positive, guys, and take care.
Get out there, join everybody, be the resistance, be the change that you want to see in the world.
I like that phrase. Thank you very much.
Thank you.